life worth more than the other? Swollen belly, could you help to feed another? Are you moving in a pace that's false and reckless? Are you living with your truth or consequences? Do you think your actions have no bearing on your brother? Could you forgive the mistakes of another? Would you open up your heart to help mend broken fences? Are you living with your truth or consequences? Forgotten how to be kind. Look to find the goodness, find the ties that bind. Before our chance to live in peace unwinds. Is one life worth more than the other? Swollen belly, could you help to feed another? Are you moving at a pace that's false and reckless? Are you living with your truth or consequences? Are you living with your truth or consequences? Welcome to Kathy's Coffee House. Okay. Oh, I'm like, where the hell did they go? Welcome back to Kathy's Coffee House. We're here in Indianapolis at Lightbound Studios for episode 2, inside Dry Bones Mud House, which is an excellent coffee house here in Indianapolis. Today we're going to be talking about hope. And if you just listen to my song, Truth or Consequences, and listen to the lyrics, you'll see that I'm talking about people not being very nice to each other anymore in this world. Times have been crazy, and it's so easy to feel like there's no hope for our future. We're in the middle of wars and pandemics, civil unrest, people fighting against each other. And really what it comes down to is that we're all coming from a place of fear rather than love. And when you do that, you can't get very far. So what I want to talk about today are 10 ways to try and optimize your hope for the future and ways that we can cope to make ourselves the strongest person we can be to get through these difficult times. I'd like to start first by our daily affirmation as a way to go into these 10 tips. Your struggles themselves do not create karma or determine the way you will evolve, only your responses to them. We don't always have a choice in the things that happen to us, but we do have a choice as to how we move through those things. And hopefully we learn how to do that from a place of love and compassion and hope. So here are 10 tips for how to improve your outlook and optimism towards the future. In other words, how do we cope to find hope? Number 1, turn off the news and social media. Yes, I said it out loud. We need to turn that off. And I find that when I get overwhelmed watching watching the news. If I still need to be in front of a TV for a while and need to be entertained, I move to comedy. It's been an excellent tip that I've used many, many times over the years. When my head is so full of downer ideas and I'm being hard on myself or feeling stress and anxiety, I'll relieve myself with a little bit of comedy, because nothing is better than laughter to help heal. Number 2, express your feelings. It always helps us to get it off our chest, to learn to be authentic about our feelings. So whether you journal, whether you write songs like I do, conversations, art, therapy, any of those things that help you have that conversation with others and with yourself, to let your feelings be known so that you are aware of the things that are motivating the choices you're making. Number 3, create a daily routine with balance. I think one of the key things to having a positive mental health approach to life is to have balance in your life. And that means meeting the needs of all the different aspects of your life. And it takes some scheduling. You need to make the choices, both mental, physical, and spiritual. Taking the time for feeding your soul, because if you don't feed and you're constantly giving out, the cup becomes empty, and then you really start having some problems. There's nothing filling you back up unless you make sure that that happens. So whether it's meditating, getting exercise, looking inward, yoga, whatever it is that helps you to create balance by putting a little bit of all those different sides to you into your daily routine, it helps to create a balanced mental status. Number 4, perform random acts of kindness. Bringing hope to others, believe it or not, will bring hope to you. So giving someone a compliment out of nowhere, a stranger, tell them you like their smile. Tell the person who fed you that you really appreciate their food. All those random acts of kindness, if you just did one a day, it's uplifting to see the joy that you put on someone else's face. And then you're more receptive to the joy that comes your way. So I say I'm a full believer in random acts of kindness. Tip number 5, practice gratitude. If you see the glass half empty instead of half full, you don't find very much to be grateful for. But there are so many things that happen to us every day that if we acknowledge that we have gratitude that those things are already in our life and are feeding us in a positive way, you reinforce that. And it's acknowledging that and bringing it into your conscious, because these things are always going under the surface, but becoming more conscious about them will be of benefit to your spiritual mental status. So think about something every day that you're grateful for, and end your day with something that you're grateful for. Number 6, cultivate optimism. As I was just saying, glass half full is a better way to look at things than glass half empty. It's positive. It opens the possibilities for things to come. If you're only looking at what's not there and not looking to what could be and what you want to be, well, the energy is going to go in the negative direction, and I don't think any of us need that. We're trying to find ways to get past that and through that. So try and find the glass half full. Number 7, take time to be spiritual. Whether you believe in God, the universe, Buddha, whatever it is that's spiritual, that's really about getting in touch with your inner self and your soul. And it's so important to know who you are without all of that exterior noise that happens. Number 8, and this is an important one, take time for yourself. And that means be good to yourself. It can be something as simple as when I wash my face, I pretend I'm giving myself a mini facial. It may seem like a silly thing, but it just makes it more pleasant. It makes it happier. It makes me feel like I'm taking care consciously of myself. And I'm trying to do things, because you don't have to go on a $10,000 vacation. You can do it for absolutely $0 and still treat yourself like the person you deserve to be treated as. So I would always say, take time for yourself. Number 9, interact with nature. That can be anything from taking a walk in your neighborhood or through a local park to gardening, which happens to be something that I have found is a wonderful way for me to interact with nature on a daily basis. I make sure I go in my garden and I literally nurture my garden. And in that way, I'm practicing a habit that then in turn nurtures myself and makes me appreciative of what the earth is giving to me and what I'm giving back to the earth. And that mutual love for each other creates growth, both personally and in my garden. Mindfulness is a big part of that, is to really notice what's happening around you in your environment. So take a walk in nature. You know, nature moves slowly. Evolution has taken millions of years. And that's a good thing because we expect change to happen overnight or in that instant. And that's not how it works. Change is slow. Change is slow like the evolution of nature. And we need to remind ourselves that everything doesn't have to be fixed right this minute. Things unravel slowly and they build back up slowly. So give yourself the time to let those changes happen. As long as you're positively in a mental state that you're supporting all of that, the change will happen in its own time in the way nature wants us to experience that. Number 10, allow yourself to have a bad day. I know I have days with as much progress and mental health that I've gained, I still have and will, I'm sure, always have days that just don't start right and never seem to get better. And if I'm really feeling mentally not able to cope with the day for some reason, even if I don't know the reason why, but I just know it's not going well, I shut it down. I give myself the chance to say, you know what, today's just not a good day. I'm gonna get through this as best I can, get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's a new day, and I can do that day just as I can this one. So maybe tomorrow will be better than this, and guess what? It usually is. If you give yourself the time and take care of yourself, nurture yourself, you will find that it's perfectly fine to have a bad day and just let yourself know tomorrow is a new day. It starts all over. So don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. You'll get there. It's a slow process. It's a never-ending, imperfect journey, but we are here to support each other and to give ourselves the space to learn and grow and try and fail and get up for another day. So I think that if you listen to at least some of these suggestions and start working on even just one of them in one simple way, you're already on the course to improving your own mental health and the people and in the environment around you. And these things will help to foster hopefulness rather than hopelessness, and will help us to make choices as we navigate through these really difficult times in our world. So thank you so much, and I want to end with the other part of my daily affirmation, and hopefully this ties everything together for what I've said about my song and about the ways to deal with coping with hope. If you wish the world to become loving and compassionate, become loving and compassionate yourself. If you wish to diminish fear in the world, diminish your own. These are the gifts that you can give. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be here next time with a new agenda. We've got a concert and open mic night, and we'll be performing there at Sound Space. We're going to be recording that for you. Shout out to Lightbound Studios and Dry Bones Mud House for supporting our channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. Don't forget, smash all the buttons, the like, the subscribe, the bell for notifications, smash them all. And thank you for coming to Kathy's Coffee House. See you next time. Did we do it?
Awesome. Celebrate.
Woo!
Celebrate. That's episode 2. In the bag.
Number 2.
In
The bag.